Hello, welcome to School Talk Cafe, another time where we delve into very, very interesting topics. And I'm not alone, as always. My name is Adia and I am with
Sele and Nene.
Oh, you called your full name today?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. All right, and this is going to be a very, very interesting episode. I know you can already see who I have here, but I'm going to do a brief introduction about who she is. We have with us here. I am so delighted. I am so excited at the fact that we have the one and only. There's never ever going to be another like her. Chief Mrs. Abike, yes, Olabisi Are. Many of you will know her as the one who was a pioneer principal for Apata Secondary School. She was born on March 31st, 1935. So you know that I'm speaking with a 90-year-old matriarch. In her very early days, she was a sprinter, and I'm sure that he is itching to share how he felt seeing her sprint down the stairs. So I'll leave that to him. She was a teacher at ISI. She was a teacher at Our Lady of Apostles here in Ibadan, and she was born in Ibadan in Idikon. Did I? Idikon. You forgive me. You know that my Yoruba is not done. Yeah. So she was also with the Ministry of Education in Liberia. Her career has spanned 40 years in education in media. She was also, if I'm not mistaken, the pioneer host for the NTA program It's a Woman's World. And so we have with us here none other, and I'm going to allow her to, in the course of this interview, she's going to be sharing a lot about who she is, what she has done, what she feels about the education system. And so I want you to welcome to School Talk Cafe today the one and only Chief Mrs. Olabisi Are. Thank you so much for being here, ma.
You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
Well, point of correction. The names are Olabisi Abike Are.
Yes, right.
I was born at Abeokuta, not at Ibadan.
Oh.
And I'm very proud to tell you that.
Yes.
My father was a teacher at a Baptist Boys High School. My mother also was a teacher, and most of the children were born at Abeokuta except one. I am proud to tell you that I belong to two cities, Abeokuta and Ibadan.
It's good to have you on the show, School Talk Cafe, and on this program we discuss issues around the education system in Nigeria, pros and cons, policies, scenarios as it affects the children, the students, whether in primary school or secondary school, issues like bullying and absenteeism and stuff like that, and also, of course, like we said, different educational policies and how it affects, or the ripple effects of those policies on the education system in Nigeria. But today is about you, vis-a-vis your experience in the education sector and in the media space also. And we know you will not leave us without a few nuggets, words of wisdom and the likes. So do you want to fire the first?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so we have quite a number of questions here so that we don't miss anything. And I know you are up to the task. But like I was saying earlier on, when I read your bio and I saw that you had an athletics background, I said, oh wow, and I just said, oh wow, and let it be like that. And then I had that interaction with you, and you were going back to the room to just relax or something. I'll come back and join us later. And I saw you sprint down the stairs. I said, at 90, she sprinted down the stairs. I said, what? So I turned and looked to her. I said, did you see that? She said, yes, she did. I said, wow. I mean, I just thank God for the grace upon your life.
Yes.
Still sprinting downstairs at 90. by the way, I can't do that. I honestly cannot. I'm sure you noticed when I was coming, I almost stumbled on it. Yeah. And I'm not even.
You're nowhere near 90.
I'm not even 60 yet, you know. So when I see that kind of thing, it's a big deal to me, and I'm sure it's a big deal to a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
Because I've seen people from 60, 70, and they already have issues with stabilizing or walking unaided. And here I have a 90-year-old woman sprinting down the stairs. Indeed, you are blessed.
Yeah.
You really are blessed. And I celebrate God's grace in your life. So I want to just quickly ask one or two questions about your early days. You know, you've lived through many defining moments in Nigeria's history. And I want to ask, can you just take us back to your early school days at Baptist Girls High School, Idiko? What was the education like for young girls at that time? What was Ibadan like? What was the education space at that time like? That's quite a number of questions in one.
Well, I told you I was born at Abeokuta. And it's very interesting in those days. You know, if you have small stature, you cannot start school with people with a big stature. So many times my father took me to Owu Baptist Day School. My hand could not reach
touch your ears.
here. And so I was home. You know, each time they say, well, she's not ready, you know, maybe I don't know what they were talking about, whether physiologically, whether physically, whether maturity.
But this was the only measure.
This was the only measure.
Wow.
Very interesting. You know. So we made many attempts. So one day, beginning of the new year, January usually, my father took me back. And fortunately, the hand
touched the
ear. And so my mother made me some uniform, from khaki, brown khaki. You know, students wore those days. Mothers would always make a bigger dress that you can grow into. So when I got to school, my uniform, some children were teasing me, look at her with a big dress. You know, they called me a name anyway. One particular one, I didn't like it. So it got into some fight. I think the teacher knew that I was ready for school that day because I beat her. And when my father, they sent for my father. I think the teacher fainted.
Wow.
Some beating.
From the fight. So my father came and said, Abike, you don't do this, you don't fight in school. I said, but he called me names because of my dress. And then my father said, report to the teacher and let her him make a verdict. Anyway, that was how that went. So school was at Owu Baptist Day School. The people I went to school with, or that registered at the same time with me in 1942, were Sholeye. Sholeye was one time commissioner here. He's late now. Then Adoni Akitenwa, she passed away a few days ago.
Oh,
I didn't see her the last few years. Her husband and my husband were at UCH at the same time some years ago. And both of us met. We will pray for both of them. Unfortunately, her husband passed away. Since then, I lost touch of Adoni until somebody told me a few days ago she passed away in England.
No.
And then my daughter said, we were classmates at Queen's School. I said, what a shame. And she said she passed away poorly. That really made me very sad. Because from school, her house was close to Owu Baptist Day School. We would go to her house. Her mother would have made some cold eba and some vegetable soup. And Adonai would say, let us share it together. And I will sit down with her and we will eat. And we will go back to school after eating. So school at that time was very interesting. I enjoyed school. I enjoyed going to church. You know, Owu Baptist Church.
Okay, so what was the discipline level like, and then what kind of activities, whether academic or social activities, were going on at that time?
At that time, I don't know whether it was lack of good teaching education, but when there was any riot in the class or any noise, it was mass punishment. The teacher would come in and said, "You are making noise." You know, so he would say we should use our knuckles to be knocking on the desk. And you would do that until he stopped. He said, "Stop." So that wasn't a very interesting. You might not have been talking or taking part in the noise, but then everybody was punished together. So I didn't like that much. My stay there wasn't very long because from our house to the school was a bit far, and taking a shortcut, you have to go from a house, go on the hill to Baptist Boys High School, come down the slope, and then at the end of the slope, you cross the road and get to your school. So father thought I should go to a boarding school. And so they took me to Liberia Baptist Girls School.
Another Baptist.
I went to school all through Baptist. Nothing more but Baptist. Because my parents were Baptists, they thought this is the best education we can give our children from a Baptist school.
Okay. I talked about your sprinting prowess, that still follows you till today. So you are known as a sprinter and an active student. How did extracurricular activities like sports shape character and discipline among students in those days, and in your life in particular?
I was very interested in athletics. I used to take, the opportunity came when you have the Empire Day, those days. Empire Day is when the king in England, maybe he was celebrating something, so it extends to all the colonies. So at Abeokuta, that was a big time for school children. You have to be in your uniform. And the school I attended, we are managed by missionaries. They are very particular about the way you look, the way you comport yourself, the way you dress. So your uniform will be white. Then with our headgear, yellow. Okay. Our shoes, white.
Wow.
And almost every year, Idiaba will take, the shape of the best school, on Empire Day. After Empire Day, after the march, where the king will be standing on the rostrum to take a salute. So as you march in front of the king, you get there, somebody will have to say, eyes right. So you have to look at the king who is there, at attention, doing this until your school finishes. Then another one, he rests, then another school passes. But Idiaba was always the first one. And we will celebrate when we get back to school. There will be good jubilation. But before the day, early in the morning, everybody had to come out to practice. The missionaries a missionary will stand to watch how you do it. There must be enough space, even space between each line. Your swing, the swinging of your arm should be, rhythmical, and they say it was regimental.
Like a military
but it was fun. It was fun. Then you go back to the dormitory and dress up for school, another uniform for school. But they taught you many things in life. Taught you many in school. I enjoyed those days. I wish we could have Empire Day. Or maybe something.
Okay, the last question from me for now. I'd like to ask, what inspired or influenced your decision to pursue a career in education? And as a woman teacher, what did that mean in your generation? So 2 questions. What inspired you to become a teacher? And then what did it mean to be a female teacher in your generation?
Well, I had no choice but to be a teacher. I was taught by missionaries. At the age of 10, I entered this school, Ibadan Girls School. There were these white American teachers. And as a child, you look at them and you admire them. You like what they are doing. You know, a lot of sacrifice goes into teaching you. And the discipline. Those Empire Day days, no boy could follow you from the ground, the playing ground, to your school. Those missionaries wouldn't tolerate that. If they see you with a boy, you can be sure, you know, when you get to the assembly early in the morning the following day, they will suspend you. That kind of discipline you go up with. I'll tell you of another one later that really molded my life and showed how strong, you know, I was to my parents too. So no choice but to do what the missionaries do, what my parents are doing, teaching, and so I took to teaching. And I enjoyed it. You know, it's a career that when you do it well, oh, you get so much delight. If people say teacher's reward is in heaven, I must tell you today, I've been enjoying mine